enthusiasts. It's time for part 2 of Explain! If you remember, in part 1, we discussed the first 3 amendments that Floridians will be voting on this November.
It was pretty good. She made us watch it after she forced us to talk to her about voting, so we'd be up to speed.
I didn't even know we had to vote on amendments this year.
And now on to Amendment 4. Did you know that the 4th proposed amendment to Florida's Constitution says that each amendment to the Constitution would have to be voted on in 2 separate general elections to be passed?
I'm sorry, what?
So, for example, say 60% of voters vote to raise the minimum wage this year. That technically passed, right?
I'm following.
But under this amendment, you would have to wait until the next general election to vote on it again, and then if it passes, only then will it be added to the state's constitution.
So basically we have a 4-year waiting period for someone to ask, are you sure?
That is essentially it, yes.
That is the antithesis of democracy.
I mean, frankly, it does go for amendments that you like and dislike. So if an amendment passes that you disagree with, you have 2 to 4 years of activism to make sure that doesn't get passed again.
Well, can't you say that's redundant? If the people vote and the majority say yes, they want it.
Well, if it helps and gives transparency, this amendment was penned by a group called Keep the Constitution PC.
That does not help at all.
Their reasoning is that it would, and I'm quoting here, reduce the amount of whimsical additions to the Constitution. Since its inception, the Florida Constitution has had about 140 amendments. For contrast, the U.S. has only had 27.
Huh. Didn't know that.
There's a silver lining to it. It's going to really force Floridians to think about the issues they're voting on.
That seems like a clear obstruction to the entire ideology behind voting.
Would we do that? In America? Intentionally slow down the process so that it becomes so slow and painful that modern Americans stop caring about voting? You're voting twice, okay? Essentially, you're going to be voting for the same thing twice. Figure out how you feel about that, because it's going to make you feel a certain way. Vote based on that feeling.
But wait, in order for this to pass, are we going to have to vote on it again in 2 to 4 years?
Oh, no. The amendment to vote for passing amendments twice only happens once.
But that, I don't... Hey guys, did you know nothing means anything?
So, vote yes, and if it passes, we will have to vote twice in 2 concurrent elections to pass an amendment. Vote no, nothing changes. It'll only take 1 vote to pass amendments. And again, you will only vote once on this decision, for whatever that's worth. Now, if you're not a homeowner or don't know anything about owning a home, Amendment 5 is going to sound like gibberish to you.
Owning a home. Oh, you're serious? Oh, I just made myself really sad.
Yikes. Anyway, I'll try to make this easy. Years ago, an initiative called Save Our Homes was enacted to help people out with property tax for homes that were primary residences.
Because so many people own vacation homes in Florida? Must be nice.
They wanted to incentivize living in Florida. This act limited annual increases in property tax as the value of your house went up. It also gave you tax exemptions based on the value. More value means more exemptions. After 2 years, they would cap it out as the value of your house, and that is what you would get taxed on forever. If in those 2 years you could drive up the value of your house, you would get more tax exemptions, and voila, cheaper taxes from here on out.
So, the more expensive your house, the less property taxes you pay? That seems backwards.
They want people to build nice houses in Florida, I guess.
Sounds like a great way to get super rich people a bunch of tax cuts.
What Amendment 5 does is extend that 2-year period to a 3-year period. This gives you more time to raise the value of your house, qualify for exemptions, and set your cap limit on what the value of your house is.
Okay, cool. And also, what?
No, I got it.
You did?
Well, if I don't, I'm sure someone at a bank will explain it to me.
And I'm sure nothing could go wrong with that, right? So, vote yes, and you get 3 years to earn more tax exemptions on your primary residence. Vote no, and it stays the same at 2 years. It's really about what you think is fair.
I mean, I think it would be fair if owning a home was at all financially possible for young people making less than $100,000 a year, but screw that, am I right?
Anyway, that's amendment number 5.
A little bit of Monica in my life.
Yep, that's the way to get the youth involved. Reference a song from 1999.
Just trying to be involved.
So, chickadees, did you know that in the state of Florida, veterans get tax exemptions because they're veterans?
I mean, as well they should. I mean, what are we gonna do? Ask kids to go fight a war for us and then not give them a place to live when they get back? Right, United States. I forgot. That was on me, guys.
Amendment 6 proposes that should a veteran die, the tax exemptions are passed on to their living spouse, so the savings stay intact.
Wait, I'm sorry, amendment? That isn't already a thing?
No, the exemption only applies to the veteran, not the veteran's family.
Is there just like a shuttle leaving Earth now?
The interesting thing, no company, organization, group, or any official opposes this amendment. Really, the only reason to vote no on this amendment would be to get more money flowing into property taxes, as revenue generated from property taxes is generally used to fund local projects and services such as fire departments, law enforcement, local public recreation, and education.
But would this amendment really do anything?
I mean, that's up to you to decide.
So, just to clarify, under this current constitution, not only does someone die, but then the family has to pay more because of it.
Yes.
That's outrageous. People living in haunted houses and paying out the wazoo to do so. Ghosts everywhere.
If you vote yes on this amendment, tax exemptions will be transferred to the spouse of a veteran. Vote no, and things stay the same. Property taxes go up for the veterans' spouses. And that's it. Those are the 6 proposed amendments to Florida's Constitution. Now you know a little bit more. You might feel sad, you might feel angry, probably a bit confused, and I'm sure there are a lot of you going, there are amendments we can vote on?
That was me!
But if anything, I hope this inspires you to vote at all. Because it isn't just about who's president. It's about what we can change with our thoughts, beliefs, and voices. We have a say, and we can say it. So make sure you vote, whether it's by mail or in person for early voting starting October 19th through Election Day, November 3rd. And let's make Florida the best place the surface of the sun could reach.